City Hall, London. What is happening to it? Looking at the past, present and proposals for the future. City Hall, the former home of the Greater London Authority, looks in a poor state now. It is currently boarded up and looks dirty and unloved. It is in a very prominent location next to Tower Bridge and opposite the Tower of London. I have some pictures of when it was under construction and when it was in use, as well as views from the top of it in 2018. So I thought it'd be interesting to review these in the light of the current proposals, previous uses of the site by looking at old Ordnance Survey maps, and also where the GLA, or rather its predecessors, have been before and have moved to. Please stay to the end for all the details. Brought to you by Eclectic Experience, change seen through images. The old City Hall is located here in the centre of London, England, on the River Thames, near HMS Belfast, opposite the Tower of London and next to Tower Bridge. You really can't get much more prominent than this. This is City Hall under construction in 2001. It was designed by Foster & Partners and opened in 2002, 2 years after the new Greater London Authority, the GLA, was created. If we look at a similar shot taken from Tower Bridge in 2023, we can see the building with its distinctive shape, but what is really striking is the surround. In 2023, the frame is full of buildings, including more London, and most significantly in terms of dominating the picture, the Shard. But if we then go back to 2001, look at the difference. If we go even further back to 1991, we can see how clear the area was, and also the old dock warehouses along the riverfront. To get an idea of the area's history, I consulted old Ordnance Survey maps, link in description, and it was really interesting seeing the 1878 map and seeing that the whole riverside was just covered in warehousing. And interestingly, Tower Bridge had not been built yet. It is approximately here, landing between the Tower of London and St Catherine's Docks. Going back to City Hall, the building was a groundbreaking design in shape and ideas. Its shape was meant to achieve optimum energy performance by minimising the surface area exposed to direct sunlight, and the glass to allow Londoners to watch the assembly at work. It was also not intended to have a front or back in conventional terms. Unfortunately, with so much glass, it meant that it simply was not energy efficient and had a rating of E. Due to its shape, it wasn't space efficient either. However, the building might not be space efficient, but it was interesting, and this is a picture I took from the inside in 2018. The views from the balcony at the top were also very good, as there is a clear view of the City of London over the River Thames. These are some of the pictures I again took in 2018, when we can see some construction in the City of London, as well as the completed walkie-talkie building. But also HMS Belfast, moored on the River Thames. Then if we move around, the Tower of London, looking quite small now compared to all the buildings around it, and considering this dominated London for nearly 1,000 years. And then round to the more recent Tower Bridge. This is a picture looking away from the river. At the end of 2021, the building was vacated. The reason given was due to the higher running costs and that money would be saved by moving to a more efficient owned building. The GLA only leased City Hall, they did not own it. There is a consultation in progress about the future of the building, link in the description. But this is the image of the proposed refurbishment. It looks like the outside of the building should be a lot cleaner, as it will actually be a lot easier to keep it clean, and it should be a lot greener with more plants, which generally tends to improve the feel of the environment, and also improvements to the scoop. The scoop is an outdoor seating area where events are held, The plan involves more plants, but also expanding it by making use of some of the space that was previously used by the old meeting rooms that are under the building. As shown here, sustainability is a big part of the plan for the building. One thing that does stand out is the plan not to demolish and rebuild, but to keep the superstructure and amend the facade, incorporating modern energy efficiency measures. So where had the GLA moved to? This is the old City Hall on the map, and if you go east along the Thames, just past the Millennium Dome or O2, on the other side of the river is the new City Hall, the old Crystal building, right next to the cable car. This is it in 2013, which I took shortly after the cable car opened, and this is it in 2023, renamed City Hall. The Crystal building originally opened in 2012 and was an exhibition centre for sustainable architecture, having itself achieved the highest sustainable award level possible at the time. The building was purchased by the GLA in 2019 and later converted for its current use. Looking at an old Ordnance Survey map, well, this gave me a shock. On the 1850 map, it was all marshland, Playstone marshes, nothing there. By the 1870s edition of the Ordnance Survey map, Victoria Docks had actually been built, and it's possible to identify the location, about here. Going back in time, the building that was in use for the longest of the predecessors to the GLA was County Hall, almost opposite the Houses of Parliament. This is it on a modern map. Interestingly, when going back to older maps, this one published in 1935, it shows the areas just being blank, except for Roman boat found here in 1910. This is surprising, as the building was completed and opened in 1922. This is a sign from Jubilee Gardens next door, explaining the history of the site. As we can see from the lettering on the outside of the building, on the side next to Westminster Bridge, it was the home of the predecessors of the GLA, the London County Council, LCC, created in 1889 but resident here from 1922 until 1965, and then the Greater London Council from 1965 until it was abolished in 1986. So, in summary, the authority that controls London, although it has changed its name and makeup several times, has been slowly moving east, and it's now in its third home. The old City Hall, now called 110 Queen's Walk, is a very prominent building with a distinctive shape and next to a very well used public space in the Scoop. So it will be interesting to see what comes out of the consultation. Hopefully, as a minimum, we will get a cleaner, greener building. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please like and subscribe and click alerts for future releases. Thank you for watching Eclectic Experience, change seen through images.